So this is an effort to show you how to do the umbrella. And so to start with, we have the plywood. I think this is 20 by 24. Put the carbon paper down where we do the image and center it. Let's say, this doesn't have to be exact, but there's 3 inches. There's 3.5 inches, and this is about 3.5 inches. That's about right. Okay, now it's just a matter of taking a pencil, or I've got this little gizmo that doesn't really have anything on it, it's just a little point. And I use that, but obviously a pencil would work. And I just work all the lines. And hopefully I have the carbon paper turned the right way so the image is getting transferred after all this. And maybe I will check. We're doing fine. Got to make sure you don't let anything slip. And just keep all your lines like that. And a little thing here. And then this little stick. So now I'm just going to take this over to the scroll saw. Follow the lines. Now I want to come down here and saw up this way to get another part of it done. So what I'm going to do is release this, release that, pick up my board. Now these pieces are rough. They've been, you know, the saw marks and everything, all this is kind of rough. And so we want to sand that off. And this is the front side. And the front side, I want to ease that edge off a little bit, just round it off so that I got a little dimension to the thing when we're all finished. When all the pieces fit together, it'll be a little curve here and a little curve there. But I do not want to sand at the absolute edge. I just want to round the top. If I get sand this, you know, this edge, I'm going to be leaving gaps and they will not fit together. So we don't want that. Just a little bit of an ease on this. Get rid of all this junk back here. And we're going to do that with this sander here. Obviously, it can all be done by hand. Dremel tool works great. A little sanding wheel on it. But in my case, we're going to do it with a sander. Okay, that's better. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little bit of a rounded edge right there. And you can do it more if you want. You can see all the pieces have been, you know, cut out and the edges eased and so forth, sanded and numbered on the back. This is a really simple puzzle and probably wouldn't have much trouble putting it back together, but some of the others, you know, it's best to number them. I just usually make sure everything is dusted off so that, you know, you don't get a lot of sawdust in the paint. And then just separate this and then I can start painting the pieces. And this will be the first coat of the green on the top of the umbrella. Make sure you get the little rounded edges. Okay, at this point we are now applying a second coat to the umbrella top, and I don't know if you can tell or not, but all those pieces are a little bit different shade of green. And this is the top of the umbrella. I'm really doing it a little differently this time. But anyway, you can see these are all different, a little bit different shades of green. And I did that by blending those 3 shades of paint. And I know it's a terrible mess, but it's just the way it is. But anyway, you just mix a little of this, a little of that, and maybe a little blue to get it a little dark. It's just all a kind of an experiment. But anyway, that's how you get that variation on the second coat. And I will do the same thing to the blue and try to shade it a little bit. Each one maybe a little different. And it just creates a little interest. Okay, now we're going to do the background. Very simple affair. Using an eggshell black from Home Depot. Sounds like an advertisement from Home Depot, but the store's close to me, so that's what we use. This eggshell works well because it doesn't flash, it doesn't reflect, and yeah, it's got a little sheen to it. It's not dead flat. So anyway, make sure this is all dusted off and go for it. Look at it and you're happy with all the different colors of each of the segments. You're ready to glue it together. So you just take each piece out separately. Put a little glue. There's no use putting a whole bunch of glue. It's going to stick. Just don't get it to the edge because it kind of seeps up through. So each one of these gets a little dab of glue, and then everything gets the glue, including the back, including this thing. Just swirl some glue back through here and put it on the backing board, and push down. Put some wax paper over top of this. Put another piece of plywood on top of it and some weight or whatever, and give it a couple hours and it will be stuck together. If we want to put a little frame around it, then you're going to have to somehow get all this squared up, either with a belt sander or a jigsaw, a hand jigsaw from the backside, whatever, get this squared up. And then what I did is put a little strip of wood around here. I used oak so that you're not looking at the 2 edges of the plywood. You're looking at this oak. And this is a very nice little tool for those of you that have air compressor. This is a 23 gauge pin nailer, and you can shoot this into the sandwich boards, and it doesn't show. The heads don't show at all. It's really a nice little tool. So that's the umbrella.